Happy Sunday night. Welcome back to another episode of Sunday Night Live with Mark. Super excited to have all the way from Seoul, Korea, where it's already 9 o'clock on Monday morning, my guest for tonight, Spiff. Spiff, thank you so much for taking time to be here and introduce yourself to our audience, please.
Thank you, Mark, for the invitation. And good morning, everyone from South Korea. I'm Spiff. I'm Nigerian by native nationality, and I've been here in Seoul as an educator. I've worked here for well over 2 decades. You know, it's been a journey that has been adventurous, as it has been fulfilling. With Mark, I have met him in this business community, and I hope I get to meet him better. I'll know him better as we go about today. Thank you.
Yeah, I talk to you guys a lot about community and how you meet people from all over the world, right? Like here I have a fellow educator. I have a good friend that's a fraud detective. She's become my friend in California, right? A lady asked me to go on her live a few weeks ago. She turned out to be a PhD in biomedical engineering. And then we have Susie over in the UK, who's a doctor, a MD, surgeon. And, we have housewives and we've actually got some 19-year-olds who didn't know what they want to do. So their parents were like, fine, here, start this business, but you've got to do it. So Spiff, how did you make the move from Nigeria to South Korea?
To cut the long story short, before coming to South Korea, my family partnered with one of the automobile industries here. I don't know if you know about Daewoo back in the 80s and 90s. So we used to do everything automobile. We'll sell brand new cars, we'll repair broken ones, we'll service engines, the whole 9 yards, So what we did was collaborate with a South Korean company, and coincidentally, around the late 90s, I had a family member living here, and I just paid a visit, And then when I visited, I was like, "Oh, this place is cool, but it's so far," And he made a joke, You could actually come back here and just teach English for free, I mean, not for free. I mean, it's an easy job to get here in South Korea as long as you're qualified. And I'm like, well, let me see other parts of the world. So I went traveling, I went looking around, and actually I was like, let me go back and see what my relative was saying. And before you know it, 1 year became 2, 2 years became 3, and it just went on. I've been to lots of places exploring, but I came back here and I've loved it. I've loved it so far. Yeah.
Fantastic. And Coco, we're glad you're watching. Coco left us a message.
Hey, Sister Coco, thank you for that.
And so we appreciate that. We've got some other folks viewing live. Let us know in the comments where you're viewing from so we can give you a shout out. And if you actually take time out of your busy schedule to watch our replay later on our pages, we'd love for you to comment replay in the comments so that we can say hello to you as well. Right. So you're an educator like I am. What led you to start your own online business? What were you looking for?
Well, to be frank, it came down to the pandemic. That was it. Because prior to the pandemic, there was something I used to be boastful about. You could never find me on social media. I was prior to the pandemic, you could never find me on social. And not just Asians, but here in South Korea, the internet is super fast. The connectivity is great. So my students will be like, "I've never seen you online." I'm like, "Yeah, you can never find me online." And they will go searching with, and they will come back to me and they're like, "Yeah, you are not there. Who are you? I mean, who's this person that's not online?" I said, "I'm a brick and mortar person. I meet you, I teach you, and we go ahead." So what am I saying? Prior to that, I didn't need to, but my business needed people. You understand me? Just before the pandemic, I had signed a new contract for a new location where I would open a bigger space for my education business. And 2 months after I signed that contract, the government of South Korea announced that there's a shutdown. And I used that space, almost vacant space, to do research on the next thing to do. I never could make any money from that space because once you've locked in the contract, nobody is returning your money. So I used the space researching what to do. As I sit here with you, my brother, I have a Shopify store. I'm sorry if I mention the names, but I have several online stores which I built then, but I couldn't move forward because of the cost of running these stores. Whatever platform you may think, Wix, all of them, I have them. They are still there. You understand me? So I did a lot of research, but when I get to a point, they tell me, "Oh, from now you have to pay $500 every month or $300 every month." I'm not making any money. How do I go about this? So that's how I got stuck in every one of these platforms until one day, on a certain day, a friend of mine called me up and said, "Spiff, I have this problem. My business, I can do it, and I have my computer. I need my computer to work. Come help me." I'm not a computer geek, but I know some things about computers. So I went ahead, and this was a late night thing because he's a very close friend. We've been friends for over 2 decades. And I told him, I'm going to finish at about 11:30 p.m. By the time I get to you, it will be past midnight. Is that okay? He said, you can come to my home anytime you want. So I went to his home. I would work on his computer. And as I kept working, he would say, hey, don't touch that file. It's for my business. And I'm like, okay, I won't touch it. I kept working and I touched another file and he said, no, don't touch that one. It's for my business. And I kept wondering, what business is this? Because, pardon me to say, I didn't know him to be of the digital or computer-based business type. You understand me? So I kept wondering, when did this guy get into such business that he has files everywhere that can be touched? Eventually, he explained to me what the business was about. He broke it down to the extent he could, and he made me watch the webinar. And as soon as I saw the webinar and I analyzed it, I went back to him and I said, are you sure I can get this whole package at this starting fee, even the back end, the website, everything? Are you sure? Because I had suffered from those things trying to build my own. And that was the first turning point. The second turning point was when I realized that these fees were not recurring fees. It was a one-time fee that gets you in and locks you in. And I'm like, okay, count me in, I'm in. And that was it. That was it. Because the experience I had for that 2 years plus, almost 3, opened my eyes to realize that when I saw this platform and realized what you do, I knew, oh, this is it for me. This is what I wanted. This is what I've been looking for, you know. Remember I told you it started from right when the pandemic started. I came into this business 3 years later, 2023, late 2023, almost at the end of the year. So what I'm trying to say is that these experiences do happen, and sometimes we do not know how the pieces connect together. But if we just keep moving, we realize that, oh, if I didn't make the mistakes if I didn't get the experiences with the other platforms, I wouldn't have recognized that this was a real deal. Because if I had come in and someone told me for $149, you can get this, and that, I was like, I don't think it's true, but it's real. I'm here today. I've been running it since then until now, and it has been an amazing situation, an amazing experience, really.
Yeah. So it's so funny, right? When you hear somebody's story. So we're both educators. By the way, what level do you teach?
Oh, the fact is this: I supposed to be teaching elementary or thereabout, but the fact is, I left the traditional education of Korea to open something of my own. You understand me? Yep. Why? In Korea, many of them would write excellently. They would even, Mark, if you came here to Korea, they would correct your grammar perfectly, but they wouldn't speak. So I realized that there's a vacancy in the market. So I started a program whereby I would help Koreans speak better and use the language that they already know. They know a lot of English, but they just can't voice it out. So I started something in helping them with their verbal expressions of English. So I teach all ages.
Oh, gotcha. Nice.
Yeah.
It's just so, right, like you got two educators. I'm a math guy. And so everything has to be very logical to me, right? I lost a corporate job in 2016. I've been an educator my whole life, either full-time or part-time. And 2016, I lost my corporate job and went back to teaching full-time. It was a big pay cut. And so I had looked at franchises, kind of like you with your Spotify store and all the others, and the franchise fees, right? Like, I'm like, I can't, if I don't make any money and I owe you, like you said, $500 a month, $99 a month, $250 a month, right? Like I got to figure out how to host my website. I don't know how to host a website, like, right? Like, and then when I research, that's like $250 a month for somebody hosts her website. And I found this, and like you said, that fee, I got all the training, I got my website built for me, I got my website hosted for me. I'm like it kind of like, is this too good to be true? Now, I don't know your age. You said the 80s and 90s, so I'm well versed in the 80s and 90s. And I have tried all kinds of terrible things before the internet, right? Like, you kind of name it. I tried it. My poor parents have bought so many random things that no one needed. They have changed their phone service for me. So I had said I was never doing anything else. That was it. It was going to be a traditional, I would just work and collect a paycheck. So, you know, I went in beyond skeptical. And I'm about, I guess, based on your timeline, I'm less than a year behind you, 8 or 9 months. I started in July of 24. And the more I learn, the more I meet people like you and the other folks around, just it's all cylinders go all the time. It's my favorite thing, right? Like even the income, yes. But even if I didn't have, like, I love meeting people. I love the discussion of business strategy, right? Like, like learning to run a business, switching from that employee mindset to owner mindset. It's a lot of fun. And, you know, at this point in life, learning something new is very rewarding. Hello again to our guest. Sorry, Spiff, I'm going to stop and say hey to everybody again. If you would drop in the comments where you're watching from, we'd appreciate it so we can give you a shout out. And if you are watching the replay, Spiff and I would love if you would type replay in the comments so that we can give you a shout as well and say hello. So what have you found since you started this business? What I kind of gave away a little bit of mine. What have you found?
Well, I would go with two basic things. I don't want to repeat what you said, but I've learned so much. Just imagine, was it 2 nights ago? I think two nights ago. Yeah, 2 nights ago, Saturday night, South Korean time. We were in a meeting with every member of our community here in South Korea, you know, and we were just chatting up each other and teasing each other because someone was asking, you know, our training site, because of the newcomers, our training site, has anyone here actually gone through their training? And they were shocked when I said, yes, I have. And they're like, what? You've gone through all those trainings? I said, everything that's open to me, I have gone through. I'm just waiting for opportunities I'm just waiting for opportunities for more to be open to me so that I can learn more, because I just love it. It felt like going back to school, you know, but in this time, it brings much more rewards. You know, you learn skills you never thought you could ever learn. And then furthermore, you are able to apply it not only within this business community, you can even use it to do other things if you are that, should I say, creative, you know? So we are learning so much, so much, and it's only for a should I say, a family meal out That's the truth. For the cost of a family meal, you are learning and learning and learning. And imagine that, because as long as you're learning, you're growing. As long as you're learning, you're becoming better. And the second thing is the community. You see, I've not been in any business or in any job where people are so eager to connect with you. I was blessed this past month when earlier this month, April, yeah, earlier this month, when a business partner from Malaysia visited Seoul with her daughter, and I took my kids and we all met not once but twice because the first meeting was so good. We scheduled a second meeting. Within their 10-day visit to Seoul, we met twice, we hung out twice, we did a lot together. So these kind of experiences get me to look back to my childhood, because I'm from a big family, and connecting with people is something that comes so naturally. But in today's world where everyone is suspicious of the other, in today's world where everyone is taking advantage of the other, it's such a blessing. It's such a blessing to have to be in a community where you can trust people, you know them, and they come to you, you go to them, you connect, and you have these amazing relationships. It has been the biggest blessing to me. And of course, as you said, Mark, the money is good, but that's not what matters. That's not what matters. Money is something that can come from different angles. But what we have here, the relationships and the learning possibilities, it's just beyond my imagination. I'm so grateful to the friend who introduced me to this business, and I will continue to introduce as many people as possible who are open to learn and to grow.
Absolutely. It's made me a better teacher. We've got that new rock star in our community, that's raising up, and watching the way she handles participants in those big groups. Like, I have learned, I've been a teacher my whole life. I'm a good teacher. I've got classroom management, but I'm still I have learned new things. I've learned so much about communication, right? Like, if you had told me 3 years ago, I would know how to write an ad that gets people to stop scrolling on Facebook, right? That's crazy to me. Just everything. And the fact, again, getting to meet with you, right? Like, I've got friends in Malawi, Africa now. Who would have ever thought, right? It's just absolutely the community. I know my audience gets sick of hearing me talk about the community, but you can't say enough about it. So what would you tell, if we've got some skeptics in here or some people who've been on the fence watching us for a while and they come through and click on this video and watch it, what would you say to them?
I'll say one thing. Give yourself the chance to experience something new. I want to compare this to food. Pardon me. I'm a foodie. I love eating, and irrespective of the smell, taste, or texture, I am willing to try anything at least once. And then I decide, do I keep having it or do I back off? So what I'm trying to say is this: give yourself a chance to see what we have to offer. And when we say we, it's not just Mark and myself. We've been talking about people, the community. We are a global team. And we are trying to tell you, come in, take a look, and see for yourself. What we say here is not enough. This is smaller than the tip of the iceberg. It's way smaller. There's so much to know about this community that if you took the time, take that 30 days we talk about, take that 30 days to come take a look. I like to tell my own prospects 29 days just because of time differences. And if you say, oh, I don't want to do this, I want my refund, okay, take it and go. No big deal. But there has been so many experiences of people who thought, okay, I'm going to come in after 29 days, I back off and I go my way. But guess what? After 29 days, A few of them did refund, my own mentor being one of them. But 2 days after she refunded, she paid back again and said, I want in again. Because why? She was just testing the system to know, do they really refund?
She's not the only one, man. That is very common that people will ask for a refund because they want to see if it's legit, right?
Yeah.
And I give my one and they turn right back around and pay it again. It cracks me up every time it happens. Every time.
So the truth is, like many who have experienced it, you have the chance to do the same. You can come in, take a look, and say, I don't like what I see here. Or okay, I love what I see here, but let me test your policy. Give me my money back. And you go, wait. You get your money back and you jump in again if you choose to. But the point is this. Either way, it's going to be an eye-opener for you. You could either get to know that, oh, we are not real, or you get to know that, oh, this platform is really amazing, and this is where I can get what I'm looking for. And if you choose to do that, it will be a turning point for you. So my advice to you is give yourself a chance. Your future self will thank you.
Absolutely. I love that. I'm gonna steal that from you, Spiff. And I guess we need to either I need to come to Seoul or you gotta make a trek to the States. So
either way, my brother.
Are you planning on going to the 10-year next year?
I will love to. Honestly, that's something I would love to do. Is that in Ontario?
Well, they did the poll last Wednesday night. They haven't announced where won. They gave us the option of the Bahamas and the immersive experience or Vancouver.
Oh, Vancouver, not Ontario. Okay, Vancouver. Ah, yeah. From the mastermind, I heard it. I heard it being discussed. Ah, the Bahamas of Vancouver. I see. Yeah, either way, I think I would love to be there. Absolutely. And let me just say to the community, see what we're discussing? This is another thing. Through this business, you can have the opportunity to travel to many amazing places. Many amazing places. Just, okay, you see, I talked about 2 nights ago when the community in South Korea were discussing. One of the points we were discussing is that there's going to be a meeting in Japan. Okay, and we're asking, can 1 or 2 of us be like delegates to attend that meeting? So there are opportunities everywhere, not only in the locality where you are. You can meet people wherever you are in this world, as long as we are there with you. But you can also travel around and see other people. These are real people who you've met online, but then you go feel their hands. You understand me? Like my like my friend from Malaysia who came with her daughter. I was like, we've been talking, and she was part of a group. You know, late last year, I was privileged to lead a group of our community members for like 3 to 4 months. You understand? And she was one of those who was in the group, and fortunately, a lot changed for her positively under my leadership then. And since then, we became so close online. We talked a lot, we chatted a lot. So when she was like, I'm coming to Seoul, I want to see you, let's talk more. It was like seeing my sister from the same mother. You understand me? We had become like a family. And our kids bonded so well. Now they have friends. They're building the next generation that will carry this over. You know. So when we say the legacy in the business, it's not just word of mouth. We also have to sow the seed, introduce the kids. They will carry on from us. So the beauty of the business is unlimited. The benefits are such that you could not just keep it to yourself. You extend it to your children and your children's children. And pardon me if you're a Christian or not, but the Bible tells me a righteous man leaves an inheritance for his children and his children's children. So we are doing not just what we want to do, but we're also doing something that's highly ethical and biblical, in the sense that we are providing and setting foundations for our family members, so that when we are no more here, we know that we've left something for them that will really, really be able to take care of them. So it's just great benefits all the way. Great benefits.
Yeah, like this isn't billed as a Christian business, but there's so many of us, right? Like,
yeah.
and I'm trying to say this the right way. The people who don't claim Christ just, I think, need some influence from us, because
That's it.
a lot of them have the servant heart and the giving attitude. Um, so, you know, I just, that meeting every Wednesday night that we have, right? Like, I'm like, these two people, right, started their business and they pour so much back into us, and everything they do is for our success, right?
Yeah.
Like, they honestly 100% care about their people, and that trickles down, right? And if you look at the people who are successful in this business, it's the ones who do that, right? Like those of us who care about our team, right?
Right.
Um,
Right.
who actually show up for them, because it becomes about a lot more than the income,
Yeah.
right? It becomes about the connections. And, I love what you said about getting to meet people in person, because I went to the convention last year. And, if you guys ever decide to take the inside look, you get what we call the pre-coaching videos. You get to see videos that explain a bunch of stuff to you. And the guy who sold me does two of the videos, or he did the beginning one and the end one. He was the person I really connected with through those videos. So I was a little bit of a fanboy when I met him at convention. Like, he stepped in the room beside me and he went to leave, and I followed him out. I said, will you please take a picture? So yeah, like, I trying to impart that to people who aren't a part of this. But, I've spent my life in education in corporate America, and it's very political and who and
yeah,
competitive, right? Because only this percentage of people can get this rating. Like, you're stacked. And here, everybody can make incredible money, right? It's not always the people at the top. That is the thing people need to understand about this business, is it's not always the people at the top. You can beat the people at the top. You can beat anybody above you. And that's what I love about it.
Should I shock you, Mark? When you just talked about corporate America and education, all political and whatever, you see, when the Bible said they meant it for good, but God flipped it, do you know that according to the supposed official standard here in South Korea, I'm not bashing them, I'm just stating facts, they don't consider Nigeria a native English-speaking country. So they claim that a Nigerian, originally about 20-something years ago when I wanted to start, they claimed, oh, you can't teach in this country. And it almost made me explode with anger. I'm not kidding you. And that was the day I said, you guys may think it's impossible, but I'm going to make it happen. And I've been doing that over 2 decades. I'm registered with the Ministry of Education here. I'm doing my business legally. I pay my taxes. So what am I trying to say here? You see, when you said that, it just triggered that experience. It just brought back that memory. You see, in many things we want to do in life, even when you are qualified, when you are legally, should I say, when you're doing the legal things, they still try to put a roadblock. But in this community, in this business community, you could be from anywhere in the world and you could still learn. You know what surprised me the other day? I was showing one of my newest team members that look at Nigeria has over 500 languages. Okay, come look at our community site. You see, there is Igbo. Igbo is one of the main languages of Nigeria, apart from English. English is the official language. Igbo is a local language of Nigeria, and our training site has some courses in Igbo. So even if you don't want to learn in English, you can learn in your local language. And it goes across the world, not just within Nigeria. You can find many different languages to learn from. And why am I saying all of this? There is no, of course, being humans, an individual may act in a way or talk in a way, but as a system, there is no discrimination. We try the best we can to make it a balanced system for everyone who comes in, so that what Mr. A from whatever royal family is or has, you who comes from a humble background, you can have the same thing. That's why Mark said earlier, it doesn't matter where you come from, you can scale over anybody. You can go over anybody. Even the person who introduced you, they may be doing well when they brought you in, and they may still be doing well while you are still in, and you could start doing way better than them, and you are allowed to. In the typical Nigerian expression, we will say, overtaking is allowed. You know, like when cars go and you overtake. Yeah, overtaking is allowed, because it's all about what you choose to do. If you commit yourself, if you dedicate yourself, if you give it what it requires, it will grow faster for you and you can scale. So don't limit yourself to just, oh, that's my I'm sorry to say this, like one of my team partners say, hey, my boss. I said, no, I'm not your boss. There's no boss here. You're a business owner, I'm a business owner. We are partners. Yeah, you are the boss. We are partners. No, I'm here. We're simply partners, you know. So it's all good. We just need to be able to focus on what we need to do to make the business work. And what Mark and I are doing now is part of it. Create awareness. Let people understand what we do, how we do, and why we do it. And the most important thing is this: we are doing it for you. Believe it or not, we are doing it for you, because so many still do not know that there are genuine opportunities like this on the internet. So many do not know. I didn't know. And I'm sure at one point you didn't know.
Right.
But now we know, and we're trying to tell people, come and see. I love to tell my Nigerian community, you know, was it Bartholomew that saw Jesus and ran and say, hey, we found the Messiah, come and see him. Yeah. That's what I'm doing now. Everyone I see, hey, I found it. Come and see. Because in the business world, I'm not kidding you. This is it. There's nothing better. Nothing better than this. Nothing better than this, my brother.
The top two things you're going to hear from me is Jesus and my business. Followed quickly by my dog Jacoby and mathematics. And then
excellent.
After that, Disney. They're my top 5. Yeah, it's just that we've got people all over the world, over 270,000 people in over 150 countries. The only countries we are not in are countries that do not allow its citizens to own their own business. So there's no excuse. And to his point, it's been translated into a bunch of languages. We've got it in Tagalog. I know it's in Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese.
Yeah.
We will overcome any excuse you have. Like
that's true.
The only excuse you can have is I don't want to do it. Right? Like I don't want to do it. That can be the only excuse. Yeah. Man, I am so thrilled that you were here with me tonight. I appreciate your time. I look forward to continuing to work with you to build our businesses. For those of you who watched us live, we really appreciate it. For those of you who watched the replay, again, type replay in the comment so that Spiff and I know you were here, and have a great week. And I will see you next Sunday night with 2 special guests, a couple that have their own business. So we will see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for the privilege. Bye-bye.